So today's stream is going to be me doing my computer science paper 2. So a little thing about today's paper 5, physics. I know I said it was going to be quite easy, but this one's a bit complicated. So not because the paper is hard, but because I overestimated myself once again. So when I looked at the first question, they showed an equation, right, for the first experiment, and trying to make it into y equals mx plus c. For some reason, my mind was like, there's no c, there's no y intercept. So yeah, I did that, and it's wrong. So I kind of messed up. So I didn't get to do the finding the value of q and p, and so that's 2 marks gone. And my one where I said plot the graph with something in y and something in x, that's also wrong. So 3 marks are gone now. So I'm hoping that the rest, because in paper let me show you first. In paper 5, they do give you like so paper 5, they do give you extra marks. There are extra marks to be scored. So that one, you don't get extra marks of course, but it's not exactly 15 or 15 marks. So there's like maybe 20 marks available, and you can score 15 out of 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh no, it's 15. Oh no, sorry. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So for this one you have 19. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 19. So I didn't get to do the... Okay, so I did do the safety precautions. Let me find a more similar... I don't know if I can find one, but let's see first. But yeah, it's pretty disappointing. And for the other one, I don't think I managed to put a unit for the gradient. So I mean, I remember seeing that question, but my mind just completely ignored it, so I didn't get to do that. So that's another really dumb mistake on my end. So that's 1 mark gone, because it's 1 mark for calculating the gradient and the uncertainty, and 1 mark for finding the unit. So yeah, that's already 1 mark gone. And okay, so I'm guessing of the 20, I did get this correct, so that's 1 constant, provided that it's correct. Usually you keep the resistance constant, so that's 2. And then the labeled diagram, another 1 mark, so that's 3. Workable method for heat salt solution. So in this one, we just need a method to vary the... For the one that we did, we needed a method to vary the frequency, which I used a signal generator. So that should be correct. Maybe I should find a question that's like really similar to this. Physics A level P5 signal generator question. Look at this. Okay, I'll look at this.
So it is not XM.
Okay, maybe not. So yeah, you get the point. Maybe I'll lose like... Hopefully I do still get the 15 marks, because although you didn't... there's 20 marks available. But... Wait, let me check again actually. So all of the marks here get all the marks for here. Oh no, it's impossible for me to still get 15 marks because even though there's 20 available, you can only have a max of 6 over here. So I've lost 3 marks already over here, but I do gain like the other 6. So 6, and provided I still get this 6 here, so it would be 12, hopefully. So it's 12 marks already. And for this one, I did get the gradient and the y-intercept correct. This is not a question, by the way, it's just an example. So that's 1 mark, 12. Let me use my calculator. 12 plus 1, 13. So we have 13. And then we have this graph, which of course I heard correct. So that's another 1 mark. Sorry, 2 marks. And then plotting the graph will be correct as well. And error bars, correct as well. Line of best fit should be correct. Where's acceptable line? Second. So 19 now. My gradient is correct with the uncertainty, but I didn't manage to put down the unit. So probably I'll just be getting 1 mark. Which is a shame because usually I ask for like just gradient uncertainty is 2 marks. Yeah. And then next one, 2C4. Y-intercept determined by substitution into. Okay, so for 2C4 in that question, it was just asking us to find the Z and U value. So, y-intercept as well. So I did the uncertainty to be this one, but I mixed it up. So I kind of mixed it up and I put half times this, which would be wrong. But I did get my y-intercept based on the graph, so probably just 1 mark, so 21. And then for this one, calculating it, luckily for these questions, they don't ask you for, they don't expect a correct answer, they just expect you to have the correct method of finding the answer. So I still do get a mark for that. Okay. And then over here, we would R calculate using y-intercept. Okay, so this is you just getting your, like for my question was U and Z. So once we find our U, then we have our Z. And then, so that's another mark. And then, but for the question, they didn't ask for us to find the unit, so we don't get any marks for that, so that's not good. And then for the last one, they will ask us to find the value of M, given that T is 25. So my M is wrong, but luckily, also for this one, they don't ask you for a correct answer as well. They just ask you for the correct way of finding it. So I'm guessing that's 1 mark as well. So more or less, I would be getting 22 or 22 to 24 marks. So that's worst case scenario, 22 divided by 30. That would be a B. So yeah, that was quite horrible for paper 5. I really messed up quite a bit. So hopefully I do get like 24, because 24 is a, like exactly A. So yeah, it's really embarrassing on my end, but we move on from these things, you know. I can't believe it. This is the second time I've done something like this, and it's in a row. So yeah, let's just move on. Okay, so I haven't really touched on computer science. That's the thing about me. The thing about me is like I believe I could have done way better, because when I talked to my friends about the questions, lot of the stuff they did was like stuff that I understood and could have done, but I didn't. So it's horrible, really. Like if I had more time to do these papers, then maybe I could have done better. But my fault was that I didn't really try and do the hard or different questions when I did past papers. I just did mostly all the same. So it's pretty shit. Okay, let's just move on. There's nothing we can do now. So yeah, my advice is just make sure your past papers are a bit different from one another. Don't just do it like the whole of 2023, but they have about the same thing, and you just continue doing it. Don't do that. Just try and find another past paper with a different format of asking you questions. Yeah, it's like really hard to move on, but you just have to do that, because there's really nothing you can do. Okay, first A, variable name. So the first paper is always just a refresher for me. Variable name would be, say, 1. So the variable name would be that you would have to give like your own way of classifying this data. So let's say it's preferred name of the member joining the football club. So it's just member name, and the data type would be a string. Next one, it's Boolean because it uses false, and a value to indicate whether an existing member of the club lives at the same address. So I think for this one we can just put same address. Next one, when the member joined the football club, so the variable name we can just put date join, and the data type would be date. And then for the number of points a member has earned, I think for variable name we can put let's put points, and it will be integer. It's not a decimal, so it can't be real. So let's look at our answer, see if it's correct. Okay, not the same. Start date, when the member joined, I put date joined, so you don't have to definitely give like exactly here, but yeah, it can be about the same. So we have date join, points are integer, a value to indicate whether an existing member of a club lives at the same address. Why is that family member? That's really different. Well, I guess same address would work as well. And then you just give it a boolean, and then you have member name and string. Okay, moving on. Each pseudocode statement in the following table may contain an error due to incorrect use of the function or operator. Describe the error in each case, or write no error if the statement contains no error. You can assume that none of the variables referenced are of an incorrect type. So for B, result 2 and 4. So for this one, it will be, the error would be that you can't assign integers using, you can't concatenate integers. So how would I state that? Integers cannot be concatenated. Next one, substring mid 4.1 pseudocode. So they actually give you a data sheet if you don't really get it, like you don't understand what mid is. Apparently it's not here, but there used to be like a data sheet for you to, let me see. Yeah, there's the insert. That's good. So mid actually means that you would move 1, 4, 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then counting from here, 1. So it's U. So for this one, you just write no error. Actually, let's make sure I did not just mumble something, just randomly say stuff for them. Let's check if what I said was correct for the mid. Insert for computer science A level P2. So we have mid returns the string, yeah. So it's just you 1, 2, and then you count 3 from that, 1, 2, 3, B, C, D will be returned. Okay. So next one, if x is equals to 3 or 4, then so for this one, there is an error. For pseudocode, you actually should, or maybe that's just Python. I'm gonna put no error, but I believe there was an error, but I don't know how to explain it. So result is equals to status and integer half. So what is status? So status, most likely status is like a true boolean value, so cannot multiply boolean and integers. Next one, message is assigned as done plus length myString. So this is another error, so cannot add integer with string. So we have 5 already done. Let's check it. Should be arithmetic operator, not and. Okay. So my answer was integers cannot be concatenated. That is kind of correct, but we are going to try and make a more mark scheme statement. So should be arithmetic operator. Okay, second one, no error. Okay, and third one, not boolean values. Incorrect operator. Condition incorrect. So yeah, if you would use if you want to use integers, I believe you would have to put if x equals double equals to 3 and then or, and you have to write another one, x double equals to 4, like that separately. Okay, so let's just put not boolean values, incorrect operator, condition incorrect. Okay, int x over 2 doesn't evaluate to a boolean value, so incorrect operator. Okay, so most of it we can just put incorrect operator. Okay, so it's gonna put cannot multiply boolean and integers, so int x over 2 doesn't evaluate to boolean. Last one, can't add string to number, so I put cannot add integer to string, so that's fine. Okay, let's move on. C. The following data items need to be stored for each student in a group. Student name, test score. State a suitable data structure and justify your answer. So we have a student name test score. I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember any data structures. I'm guessing its student name to test score would be a 2D array. Do we use arrays? Maybe just 1D array. Say 1D array. Let's see what the answer is. To cancel this out. Just stop thinking about physics already, it's over. Record. Ah, shit. So we have a record, a list, and a array. Yeah, record, list, array. Alternative, two 1D arrays. One of string, one of integer. Where the same index links the name with the score. Okay, I guess I do get 1 mark for 1D array. Well, I need to state 2, so I get no marks. Okay. So let's just write down record. Record allows different data types to be stored under one identifier. Okay, moving on. Okay. 4 program modules form part of a program for a library. A description of the relationship between the modules is summarized as follows. Update load calls either loan extend or loan return. Call with parameters loan ID and book ID calls check reserve to see whether the book has been reserved for another library user. Returns true if loan has been extended, otherwise returns false. Check reserve called with book ID returns true if book has been reserved, otherwise returns false. Call with parameters loan ID and book ID returns a real, which is the value of the fine to be paid in the case of an overdue loan. So draw a structure chart to show a relationship between the 4 modules and the parameters passed between them. Okay, so first thing we do is we want to first we start with update loan, I believe. So our first one, we draw a rectangle. Call update loan, and we draw 2 lines out and more rectangles. Calls either, so we put call loan extend, and the other one would be call loan return. So let's look at loan extend first. Check with parameters loan ID and book ID. So loan ID and book ID will be passed to the loan extend. So we'll have to write that down. And from that, once you call, let's say loan extend, you would call, okay, with parameters loan ID and book ID, so it goes in, calls check reserve. So we go down and we get a check reserve to see whether the book has been reserved for another library user. Returns true if loan has been extended, otherwise returns false. So of course, if you do check reserve, you will have to bring out the book ID, bring the book ID over, and returns true if book has been reserved. We have to write down the conditions. So write down from check reserve, we'll put a circle, book reserve? Question mark. And if yes, you would return true. Now for loan extend, loan return, you would return a real, which is the value of the fine to be paid in the case of an overdue loan. So you do a condition first, overdue. If yes, you do a arithmetic, so it's a parallelogram. You would put overdue is equals to days times rate, and you would print out, so you would have another rectangle, print overdue. If it's false, that means it's not overdue. You wouldn't be returning a real, so it just ends here. Okay, I'm gonna look at the marks. Sorry, I feel like I'm doing something wrong. Okay. Yeah, so it's like this. So for the first one, we do have update loan, but we don't put call, we just put update loan. And we have a rhombus, and it comes down to loan extend. So loan ID goes down, and book ID goes down. Then we have loan return. Can you hear me? Now I've realized that my mic was not plugged in. Okay, so today we're just doing some computer science paper 2, and yeah, a short rundown. Paper 5 was not up to my standard. I've realized that I've made quite a few mistakes, and I'm predicting about a 24 to 22, 22 to 24 mark, 24 being the mark that I've calculated, but giving room for some error will be 22 at worst. From that, I think I really did not do as I hoped I would have done because of my unpreparation, my low level of preparation. So I've done like most of the easy passive papers and none of the really challenging ones. So my advice is that I hope you guys don't do the same mistake as I did. Try and do questions with like different levels of. Just don't do the questions with like around the same way of doing it. Like just look for questions with different questions basically. Don't keep doing like same format of questions. Yeah. It's really depressing after coming off that paper and talking to my friends and realize that I got most of it wrong. But luckily for paper 5, they don't really want like correct answers for the correct calculations. They just want the correct way of getting an answer, because they understand that most people, when they draw the graphs, they wouldn't really get the same answer. But that doesn't speak the same for like the practicals for AS level, because they have a range of values you have to get, which is like, that's why it makes it more crucial to get the correct answers. But for paper 5, they just want you to have the correct way of getting your answers. Yeah. So yeah, I did lose quite a lot of marks just because I didn't do like, so I thought like most questions would just have the same way of doing it. Okay, let's That's why we move on from that. Okay. So I just have to remember this. I totally forgot about this. I totally forgot that this thing exists, you know. So the definition of a module loan return is amended as follows. Write a pseudocode header for the amended module loan return. Call its parameters loan ID, loan book ID, and fine. So you write down define loan return, and then we put the parameters down loan ID, book ID, fine. And then for the next line, the module checks whether the book has been returned on time and then assigns a new value to fine. So from this, so we have to define first actually. So for loan ID, we'll put loan ID 2 dots string, book ID 2 dots string, fine 2 dots real. So that's our first line. Second line, the module checks whether the book has been returned on time. So we put a condition. If return on time equals to true, fine is 0, else fine is equals to your fine. Well, from what I saw just now, I don't think this is correct. Well, I guess we do get 2 marks for just procedure. Procedure loan return, loan ID, book ID as string, and we didn't do by reference to fine. So by ref means that you're just taking the value of fine and you are going to change the value within the function so it doesn't change outside of the function. By value, then whatever changes happen in the function happen to it in real life. Yeah. Next one. C. Let me just let my cat out first. Yeah. A program will input 50 unique integer values, output the largest value, and output the average of the values. Okay. First thing we do, first thing is inputting values. So we'll draw a rectangle. Input 50 integer values. Oh wait, no, sorry, we can't just do that. Because it has to output the largest value, we'll just put input integer value and put it to a condition. It did say no variable declarations are required. So let's just put input integer values, and we want 50, right? So integer is equals to integer plus 1 moving on is the current value larger than previous value, larger than the largest value. If yes, current value is equals to largest value. And then from this we would cycle back to the beginning, input integer values. And then maybe in the beginning we just have to put down a condition first. Is integer more than 50? No, sorry, equals to 50, because we just want 50. If no, then we move on to the next one. But if it's yes, then we start taking the average. Output largest, and you would output the average. So first we calculate the average. Average is equals to we have to find the total first. So in that loop we would also just add them all together. So let's add something in again. Total is equals to total plus integer. You continue the loop, so that will give you a total. So average will be total minus your largest value divided by 49, and therefore you output average. There we go. That should be it. So then let's look at the answer. So yeah, we have input number okay, while one is input integer, so about the same, and set maximum to number. So that's just your first number is your maximum. For mine is largest value is equals to 0, so that's actually perfectly fine as well, because then your largest value, there's the condition later, and set total to number, also 0, so over there, and then set count to 2. This is when they already put in 2 numbers. Now they count by 1, that's why they reach 51, but I start with 0, so my integer would start with 0, and once you put your first number in, then it'll be 1. So I'm guessing in default it just starts with 1, so when you input a number in, it'll be 2, so yeah, maybe you have to do this in exam. And then of course first one, you go through the loop first and see if it's more than 50, and if it's not, then you will go through the process all over again. You could loop it, you wouldn't loop it back here because this is the initializing, so you would start a new loop over here, set total to total plus number. Alright, so the thing is, you see all these different shapes. The first one is just circle for like start and end, and these are for inputs and outputs, and this is for the programs like set, add, all that stuff, the functions that you want going on. And then set count and all that, and the rhombus is your condition. So input number, set total plus number, is number more than max, set max to number, yes. So this is if your number is more than max, so I did write that down. Increment count, and you'll just continue this loop over and over again until it's more than 51. Average to total minus max over 49, output max and average. Okay, done. So still fine with this. Number 3. It's special. Very true. Let me just turn on the light first. A concert venue uses a program to calculate admission prices and store information about ticket sales. A number of arrays are used to store data. The computer is switched off overnight and data has to be input again at the start of each day before any tickets can be sold. This process is very time consuming. Explain how the program could use text files to speed up the process. So we just describe text files. Text files store data from the arrays in a file so that it does not get lost when computer switch off. Therefore, does not need to input data again, as does not need to be input data again, speeding up the process. Okay. State the characteristics of text files that allow them to be used as explained. So what makes them store the data and make it non-volatile is that data stored in text file is stored in ROM. Stored in your ROM. Let's get the answer first. Data from arrays is written to files at end of day before the program is terminated. Data can be read from files the next day and stored in arrays. So we just need to state what we do with the files. So it's written to the file, so I put text file store data from the arrays. I guess that's fine. Therefore data does not need to be input again, no need to read the data manually. So I guess that's another one. Data is retained when the program is terminated. Computer is switched off. Data is stored permanently, non-volatile storage. So we just need to state non-volatile storage. 3A2. That's one mark. 3A3. I haven't looked at the answer yet. Information about ticket sales will be stored as a booking. The booking requires the following data: name of person booking, number of people in the group, for example, family ticket or completed event. Suggest how data relating to each booking will be stored in the text file. So first thing, name of person booking. We say that it might be stored in a text file in a record form, I believe. Information about ticket sales will be stored as a booking. The booking requires the following data. So I really don't know this one. I don't know how to answer it. Data items are combined. Like I don't know how to put it into words. Data items are combined to form a single string, and data items separated by a special character. Okay, moving on. Okay, part B. So I just need to write pseudocode. So pseudocode used to be my forte. Now I can't be sure. Take the name of a text file as a parameter. Output a warning message if the file is empty. Otherwise, output the first 5 lines from the file or as many lines as there are in the file, if this number is less than 5. So first thing, we will define the procedure. Procedure, preview, takes the name of a text file. So we just put text file as our parameter. So we don't use procedure, we actually use function since it returns a value. Okay, outputting, is that counted as return? Okay, maybe not, let's put procedure. Output warning message if file is empty. So first we check the text file, but of course firstly we have to put down the variables that we need. So it's like string. Let's just put string is we allocate a blank space to string, and then we open the text file. So open file. So let's put open text file for read. start reading the data. How do we read the data? Read line, right? Do you use read line in pseudocode? Or we can just actually make a loop until we get a special character. So it's like commas. Okay, let's just look at the answer. Sorry, but I actually don't really have a clue on this one. So procedure preview. This. Okay, let's just not do this paper, and we'll fully read everything here to try and understand the paper first before we move on. I know this seems like I'm really unprepared, which I actually am, but it's not really. Okay, no excuses. This is actually, I'm actually not prepared for this exam, but hopefully I'll do really well. I just have to like refresh myself and bring everything back to my mind. Because I did get an A for AS last year. Hopefully I still get it again. So procedure, preview this file string, declare line number as integer, declare this line as string. So we are looking at line number X. Okay. Open file, this file for read. Okay, so we did get that correct actually. If end of file, this file, then output warning message. If line number is equals to else line number is equals to 1, while line number is less than 6 and not even end of file. Okay, so straight away if you get like you end of file, then you would just output a message. Else you don't get the end of file first, then you would run this loop. While the line number is less than 6 and not end of file, read file, this line. So let's just read file, this file, and this line. So the first line, output this line. So we don't have to like specifically write how it moves on to the, how it can determine which line is which line. So it just says line num plus 1. Okay. We understand it first. Okay. So it's really less complicated than A2. Okay. Moving on. So I have actually done this before on my own revision. Okay, in a cup, we have, you just look at the whole thing here and you can run line by line to see how it's done. So let's say the value we put in a cup, result is equals to in a cup. So convert in a cup. So convert in a cup, you have while index is less than or equals to length of name. How do you know the length of the name? How do you know what the name is actually? What is classified as the name? Oh, sorry, this one. So length of your name would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10. So you get true in your first while loop. So I'm guessing that's why they put for flag. So flag is equals, oh sorry, that's the initializing first. Initialize first. True new name. Okay, it's true, it's still less than the length of the name, so you would just continue with the loop. You wouldn't write anything down, continue. This character is equals to mid name index, which is the first index is 1, so you would get 1 of in the cup, so you just have the triangle and 1. Okay, and you will just continue with this. So while it is, and then we get if flag equals to true, which is true, then we'll move to new name is new name uppercase discharge, so you concatenate that. So you have the blank and you would just get a triangle. Yeah. Okay. And then flag if this char is equals to a space char, which is just a blank, then you get flag equals to false. But it is not equals to a space char. So then you would just move on. Let me see if that was correct. Okay, we move on. And if so flag was true, so we will ignore this. And if index plus 1, so we reach 2. 2 is still within the range, and we will get mid main 2 1. So 1 in a cup would be I. So we have I. Small letter first. And then later on, you will get new name is new name and uppercase discharge. So I'm guessing space char is they use the, did they state it? Because they're using the triangle. Oh yeah, okay, it's already said that it's used to represent a space character. So my bad. This does not mean equals to, it means not equals to the space char. So yeah, it's not equals to a space char, so flag will be false. And then we would just move on all the way. Since we're already here, we will ignore the else. And we'll get if this char is equals to space char, then flag equals true. So it's not a space char, so we'll just ignore this. So third index. So now your flag is false. False, if flag is true, you will ignore this. Else, new name is new name and discharge. So first you get discharge, which is n, and then new name and discharge, you would just straight away put it in. Okay. And then our flag is already false, so it's over here. And if move on, if this char is equals to space char, which it is not, then flag equals to true. But it is not. So we move on, index is equals to 4 now. So we continue on. 4 would be space char. So going through everything, you would just have if flag equals true, which is not, it's still false. You would get the space char will still be put in. And then yeah, you just continue the loop, and it's quite self-explanatory. So what you're trying to get is just capitalize the first letters of your the first letters. That's what you're just trying to get. Okay, moving on. You don't want to waste too much time on this. The pseudocode for convert contains a conditional loop. State a more appropriate loop structure, justify your answer. So the loop that has been used is a while loop. So since we know that we want to use a more appropriate loop for this, since we know the amount of time that we have to repeat, which is lengthening, I suggest we use a for loop because we know the amount of iterations. Count control loop, number of iterations is known. Okay, so I didn't get this, but for loop is a count control loop, so that's my bad. C1. Two changes need to be made to the algorithm. Convert to lowercase any character that is not the first character after a space. Not the first character after a space. Replace multiple spaces with a single space. So it's not after space. What was that? Convert to lowercase any character that is not the first character after a space. Aren't we doing that already? Change one may be implemented by modifying one line of the pseudocode. Write the modified line. So let's look at this. So we want any line to be not right after the space, to be a lowercase. So if this chart is how would we do this? Let's see how they do it. They just put this chart is lowercase r, lowercase mid, and this kind of thing. So that's because everything that you get for this chart, even though it's a capital letter, like let's say your whole thing that you enter, even though for here it's all small letter and this is a capital, let's say they enter all capital INACUP. So they just copy all, they write all caps. So you would lowercase the whole line, and then only if it is, and then like where's the code? Okay, you would lowercase everything, and then if flag equals to true, only when your flag is equals to true, meaning this character is a space chart, meaning like the letter before is space chart, then you would index +1, so your next letter is right after a space chart, then you would uppercase it only if it is right after a space. And then, sorry. Next one, change 2 may be made by removing one line of the pseudocode. Replace multiple spaces with a single space. Write the number of lines to be removed and state its new position. So let's get the code again. So you want there to be just one space. We would move the So first thing we just say is, let's say our first character is a space already, so we would have our flag to be true. So when flag is true, then you would get if this chart is equals to space chart. Oh, sorry, we just need to move one line. So we don't want to include it into our here. So we will have to move it somewhere here. So if this chart is equals to space chart. So if flag is equals to true, then we would move, so we'll move this one over here, I believe. If this chart is equals to space chart. Oh no, we have to find if this char is not equals to space char. Yeah, so only if it's not equals to space char, then you would move it somewhere here. So my say is line 27 to 26. Oh, it's just line 26. Move to after line 27. So it's about the same thing really. After 27. So I'm switching both places here, so it's about the same. Okay. Number 5. So for number 5, we have to write a whole pseudocode for sort. And 6, 7. Okay. Oh. So for 5, a global 2D array result of type integer is used to store a list of exam candidate numbers together with their marks. The array contains 2,000 elements organized as 1,000 rows and 2 columns. So 2D array straight away. I forgot how to declare 2D arrays in the code. Column 1 contains the candidate number and column 2 contains the mark for the corresponding candidate. A procedure sort is needed to sort result into ascending order of mark using an efficient bubble sort. Oh my gosh, a bubble sort. I know bubble sort is you would do a first pass and then second pass until you get no changes. Then you would continue on. So I'm sorry, I can't really start with this. So let's look at this and see if I can explain it. So we have our procedure because it doesn't return a value, and then declare temp. So yeah, temp is needed for bubble sort because you need to temporarily store a value in order to switch it, and declare no swaps as boolean. So if we need a what's it called, a boolean, to make sure that there are swaps going on. If there's no swap, then we'll move on. And declare boundary, row, column as integer. So the boundary is 999. Why is that? Because we have 1,000 rows. 1,000 rows for 2 columns. So for this one, they start at 0, which is, I don't know why. I was supposed to start at 1 or 0. Guess we can use it any way we want. So we have repeat. So I guess we don't have to declare the array since it's already declared, but we do have to learn how to declare our 2D array. So no swaps is equals to true, initializing. So you would firstly have no swaps, and for row is equals to 1. For the first row, to your boundary. If the result for your first row, second number, is more than your result of your row plus 1, second number, sorry, not second number, second column, then, okay, you would, then for column 1 to 2, I mean, I get this. You will temporarily store the result for your row, column. Oh, because there's 2 columns. Yeah. So they use columns, so which is kind of weird. Why don't they just use 1 and 2? Well, I guess they just want to include the column, but you could just use 1 and 2 because there's only 2 columns. For column is equals to 1 to 2, we would temporarily store the result of the first column, and your result in the first column will be equals to your result
in row plus 1 column, because this is in descending, right? The first one would be your largest, so descending. Sorry, ascending, so it's like from below to top, ascending. So because your first row has a larger value than your second row. So the first row has larger value. So so it's ascending, as in your first to last. First is smallest, last is your largest. So you install the smaller value on your first row, and your second row would contain your temporary value. And you move on to the next column. Oh yeah, okay, sorry. You have to switch the value for the name first, the candidate number first, before you switch the value for the candidate scores. You have to switch both of them. That's why you need for column 1 to 2. But still, you could use just 1 and 2, but I guess maybe this is a bit easier. And then next one, you would just make your no swaps equals to false, meaning there was a swap that went on, and you would go to NF and move on to your next J. So J is actually your row. But why do they put it as J? Yeah, why did they put it as J? I don't get it. Boundary minus 1. Until no swaps is equals to true. Read it out. What is J? Next J boundary is less equals to boundary minus 1. So you're reducing the boundary out in the outer loop. So you will go to the next J, but you would also reduce your boundary. Oh, my bad. Okay, so you would go through J. Like I said, J is a row, and you would just continue until you reach the boundary. So that's your first pass, and then you would minus the boundary, and then you would move on again, and then you would continue on with your swap until you get no swaps in your whole changing here, meaning you move on and on without any swaps, meaning it does not ever change to false. So yeah, you'll have to reduce your boundary one by one, but you would go through all of your values first for your first pass and your second pass, since you know that your top value is already the largest one. Then you will minus your boundary by 1. Yeah. Okay. Oh my gosh. So that's how bubble sort goes. Next one. 6A. Okay, abstract data type for linked list. I really hope this comes out because this is freaking easy. So explain how node containing data value B is added to the list in alphabetic sequence. So explain how node containing data value B is added to the list in alphabetic sequence. This is the free list and this is the linked list. So you want to add B in. So let's say B is in the middle of A and C. So the first thing you would do is B is, so firstly C is removed from the address. I forgot what this is called, but the address of your A, and B is added in, so it points towards B. B is added in, and the address of B takes the value of C, and that's basically how it's added in. So firstly, check for a free node, I guess. Search for correct insertion point, so in the middle of A and C. So maybe I don't get 2 marks. I don't get these 2 marks because I didn't say check for a free node. And then assign data value B to the first node in the free list. Oh, so it's the free list. Oh, yeah. So you would put the value into your free list first. And then you would, A will be changed to point towards B. Okay, so that's 1 mark. Pointer B will be changed to point to the node containing C. Okay. Start pointer in the free list, move to point to next free node. Start pointer in free list will be moved to point towards the next free node. So I just got 2 marks from that. So first you have to see if there's a free node and correct insertion point. Pointers have to change, and you assign data value B to the free list. But sometimes they do have like just free lists right in the middle of these. So you just have to state free list, and start pointer will be moved to the next free node. Okay. 6b, describe how the linked list in part A may be implemented using variables and queries. So first thing, you just have to make a 2D array or a 1D array, depending on how you want to do it. So you can have 2D arrays, which is two 1D arrays. Okay, let's just say 2 1D arrays. One is the data, and the second 1D array as the address with corresponding indexes. Like definitely from what we, very similar to what we had before. A 1D array to store data, and a second array, 1D array, to store pointers. Okay, an integer variable to hold the start pointer, and an integer value to store the next pointer. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the variables. Shit. Just define a record type comprising data element and pointer, and declare a 1D array integer variable. Okay, so we still need integer variables to hold the start pointer and next pointer. Okay, last one. 7. Program is needed to take a string containing a full name and produce a new string of initials. Some words in the full name will be ignored, for example, D and all 4 and 2 may all be ignored. Each letter of the abbreviated string must be uppercase. The programmer has decided to use a global variable fn string of type string to store the full name. Write pseudocode for get start. So returns. So it returns the start position. So it'll be a function. So function get start takes the integer. So we put integer, and then we put the 2 colons and integer, and represent new number of a word in f string. Fn string. Okay, it returns the character start position of that word in fn string, or returns -1 if the word doesn't exist. This is straight up 7 marks. So we need a condition. So it would be let's look at, I'm gonna explain from here. Okay, so first thing we do, so a word num as integer returns integer. Yeah, it's a function. Declare index, this pos number found integer, declare this char as char. Constant space char, index is -1, number found is 0, this pos 1. If word number is equals to 1, then index is 1. If fn string contains the string hot and cold, get start tree returns 9. I don't get it at all. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8, 9. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh no, it ignores and. I forgot. So some words are familiar ignored. For example, does it include space bars? One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you would include the space, but you don't include the and. Okay. Get start tree. So it takes the integer for number of a word in fn string. 1, 2, 3. Is that what it means? Oh my gosh, 7, 4, 5. So it's just a bit more too. If word number is equals to 1, then index is equals to 1. Else word number is different. If looking for word 1, word 1 always starts at index position 1. While this pos is length fn string, this pos is 1. Index is equals to -1. This chart is equals to mid fn string. This pos 1. So if we're finding a letter, if this chart is equals to space chart, then number of words found is number found plus 1. I'm gonna go eat first. My mom is rushing me, but I'm gonna go eat first. Okay, let's read the question again. So just looking at this word number, so it basically just means that if we input 3 and fn string contains hot and cold, so we want the third word, all the way to the third word. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Third word here. Okay, so that's how it goes. And of course, you would ignore the words and off 4. So you'll be like 1, 2. What? And then for get word, we'll just have, so C is the start word of the third letter, and then for get word, say 9 called with a parameter representing the position of the first character of a word in fn string. So 9 is C, so we get call. Okay, so how we write this? We have declare index, this position, and number 4. Declare this character as character. Of course, if our word number is 1, then of course index will be 1 because the first word is in the first part of your index. Else, while this position is less than length of fn string, so your length of the word that's given, you would put an index is equals to -1, so we initialize with -1 first. This character is equals to mid fn string this position 1, so you're pinpointing the position of the so this position is 1, so you get 1 first. Okay, so let's say hot and cold, you have H. And then if this character is equals to space char, so it is not equals to space char, so then num font is +1. If num font is equals to word num -1, so let's say like word number 3 -1 is 2. So num font, oh yeah, so once you reach a space hot and cold, then that will be counted as your first word, and then your second word will be and. But that's and. So how will we ignore and? There are a few words to ignore. But so let's say hot cold. So we're looking for the second word, and if our num found is equals to our second word, let's say we continue on the fn string and we get 2 spaces, so we have okay, let me think this. Index is equals to this position +1. This char is space, then num from +1, and you would continue and then you would look at this. If num found is equals to word num -1, which it is not, but the first thing we do is reach here, and it is not in your. Okay, so if it's not space char, then this position will +1. You just ignore the H, O, P, and then you will reach space. space, and you get space char, so num form plus 1. So you have your first word is behind, and then we will continue on. If num form is equals to word num minus 1. So we're looking for the second word, and num form is 1. So then, yeah, so we've satisfied this condition that index is equals to this position plus 1. So your second word would be directly after. Okay, yeah. And then yeah, okay. So the rest is just your condition endings and all that. So yeah, we did kind of get that. Decided to use a global 10 element 1D array ignoring list of type string to store the ignoring words. Unused elements contain the empty string and may occur anywhere in the array. A new module add word is needed as follows. Call with a parameter representing a word stores the word in an unused element of the ignore list array and returns true. Returns false if the array was already full or if the word was already in the array. Do not include pseudocode statements in your answer. Write a detailed description of the algorithm. Okay, so we just need to explain how it's going to work. So firstly, add word will have to call the ignore list array. So maybe you don't call it, you just have it already. So call with a parameter representing a word. So you would first call the word to be that you want to add to the list, call the word to be added, and next thing you do is format. So next thing you do is you check the list, incrementing your check the first initialize your index to 1, and you will check the first number, the first word, and you just do a condition if you can't include pseudocode statements, so maybe we just put if as a general word. If the first index is exactly the same as your word to be added, then but we have to make it like they're the same so that we know that they're the same without having to like let's say if it's the word is and, but and is in all small caps and small letters, and you want to add like and, but you put in a capital A, so it might not detect and it will store two and, one with small a and one with big A, so you will uppercase both. And yeah, if it's the same, then it will return false. So, and then after that, you would put another condition. So, else, if, no, sorry, I think the first one you just put if already. So, sorry, while list not full, so you would just put, you will have a condition. So while the list is not full, you would iterate throughout the index, the first index. If it is already the same, then you wouldn't add, otherwise, and then you will cycle through, so increment your, otherwise if index is not equals to otherwise if the data is not in the index location is not a empty space, doesn't contain an empty string, then you would move on, but you also need a condition that if the data in the index string is equals uppercase of that is equals to uppercase of the data you want to add, then return false. And then you will just continue until you get a empty list, an index with a empty list, and you still haven't exceed the max value. Store the word that is to be added into that location, and you would return true. Let's see what we write. Mention of variable for use as array index. So yeah, we did say we need an index. Use of a loop to check through array. Okay. If word is same as the current array, return false. Okay. If word not already in array, loop to find unused element. Okay. Store word in unused element and return true. Okay. So we did get 4 marks from that. Okay. Last question, and then I have to take a shit. Sorry, I ate something spicy. Called with a parameter representing the position of the first character of a word in fn string. So let's look at the example again. We have 9. So reach 9, C, code. Okay. So it will have like get word, we will just put a num, not word num, just num. So just index, I guess. Index integer, return string, declare your next word as string, declare dot as boolean, declare this character as character, and index as integer, constant space, next word is empty first. Okay, and done is equals to false. Repeat, this char is mid of fn string index 1. So your index 1. This char is equals to, okay, so you're already straight away pinpointing that place where you would get that code. So C will be straight there. If this char is not equals to space char, then as long as it's not equals to a space char, next word is equals to next word and this char. So how do you know what the next word is? Sorry, it's just so it says next word is half. So it is empty. So you would put C in, let's say it's horical, right? So you have C into here. And if this char is equals to space char index, or index is equals to length of fn string, then done is equals to true. So repeat until done is equals to true. So you would just continue that word, it's called until you finish your length of string. So you continue this loop over and over again until you get space char, this char equals space char, or you reach your end of a string. Then done equals true, and if index is index plus 1. So you will just move on until done equals true, return next word. Okay, that's quite simple. Then let's see. Well, I guess that's it. Oh no, we have more. What was I looking at just now? Oh, I think this is a different one. Don't do this. This looks way more difficult. This is way easier. Okay, I'm gonna go take a shit first, but then we will do 2023. I heard 2023 papers were very difficult, so let's do 2023. We'll start with QP 23. I'm gonna go take a shit first. Continue. Okay, first one. They refer to the. Let me just write down the syllabus code first. 23J23. 1A. The pseudocode contains reference to an array. Complete the table by writing the answer for each row. So this would be a 2D array. Okay, dimension. Equals to dimension of array would be 2D. 2-dimension. The name of use as array index would be pcount. And number of elements is equals to 2 times 50, 100. So 100 array elements. For B, the pseudocode contains 2 errors. One error is that the variable pcount has not been declared. Identify the other error, state the boundary occurs. So yeah, pcount has not been declared, but I guess it's like, what if it's already declared like before here? Pcount is 0 to 49. So they didn't declare pcount as integer. Next thing, 0 and 47. So we'll store 0, and we'll store 47, and next pcount. So I'm thinking like there's the incorrect indentation, so next has to be inside here. So line 103, incorrect indentation, spacing for next pcount. Okay. C, state the data type that should be used in the declaration. The pseudocode does not include a declaration for pcount. State the data type that should be used in the declaration will be integer. D. Complete the table by placing one or more ticks in each row. The first row has already been completed. So second one, obviously, output. Third one, write file, your file, text line. So write file. So you want to write in the file. So it's a process. And read file. So you want to take out what's in the file. So you have process. And result is sqrt max number. So that would most likely be an input. Okay. Moving on to A. My date of birth has been assigned a valid value corresponding to Kevin's date of birth. Complete the pseudocode statement to test whether Kevin was born on a Tuesday. we get the day of birth from the date of birth? I think it's like, I know I've done this before. Is it dot date? Dot date. So let's say if my day of birth dot day is equals to, so we will put a is equals to, so arrow pointing out, Thursday, double quotation, that, so that should be it. A function check date will take 3 integer parameters representing a day, month, and year of a given date. The function will validate the date of birth for a student that the parameter passed to represent. For a date to be valid, a student must be at least 18 in year 2020. Two of the parameter values can be checked without reference to the third parameter. Describe these two checks. So the first parameter check, B1, ensuring the month does not exceed the day. So ensuring day is within day in month, day in months. Okay, number 2. Several values of the parameter representing the date can only be checked completely by referring to the value of one other parameter. Several values of the parameter representing the day can only be checked completely by referring to the value of one other parameter. So it'll be the month. The month, as certain months only have a certain amount of days. Okay, next one. 3A. So I'm guessing, wait, actually today, it's not the, is it like 31st, 32nd and all that? I'm guessing it is. Okay, sorry, not 32nd, 31st, 30th and all that. 3A, a program processes data using a stack. The data is copied to a text file before the program ends. The following diagram shows the current state of the stack. The operation of the stack may be summarized as follows. Okay. An error will be made if an attempt is made to pop the value when the stack is empty. State the maximum number of consecutive pop operations that can be performed on the stack shown above before an error is generated. So for stacks, if you pop, 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 pop. So the thing about stacks is that it's last in, first out. So yeah, it's not like a queue. So you have 1, pop 1, pop 2, pop 3, pop 4, pop 5. It's 10, wait, pop 6. So perform on the stack shown above before an error is generated. So 6. So you would pop 6 values, all values out before an error is generated. So following operations are performed: pop and store value in variable data 1, pop and store value in variable data 2. Okay, push value AAA, push value BBB. So you pop AAA BBB, pop and discard value. So you would remove your BBB and pop and store value in variable data 2. So then you are replacing a value. So everything here is gone. We will have just x, 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 y, y, sorry, z, 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 n, 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 p, 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 and for data 1, we would have w, 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 data 2, we will have, I'm guessing that for this one, yeah, you can only store one value, so your data 2, which is your AAA, will override your YYY. So you will just have AAA. B1. State an advantage of writing the data from the stack to a text file before the program ends. So that means no need to re-enter data manually. Can read off text file. So the advantage is saves time. A module save stack will write the data from the stack to a text file. Express an algorithm for a save stack as 5 steps that could be used to produce the pseudocode. So step 1, you will open the text file. So step 1, open, because when you open a text file, then open text file for write, creating a text file. Step 2, use a integer variable index in stack. Step 3, use a loop to loop through the stack until end of stack. Step 4, store value corresponding to index into text file. I think you should put for each loop. And step 5, you will close the file with this. Close the file. Number 4, pseudocode. So number 4, make string will take 2 parameters and it will return. So first thing we do is function make string count as an integer and character. So we do count integer and then we do comma and this char as char. And then we do return a string generator. Return the string generator. String, return string. And then from this, we will generate a string of length equal to the count made up of the character. So how much marks is this? 6. For example, the function call, okay, I get it, generate a string of length equal to the count. So we first make a value to represent our count. So index, let's just put index is equals to 0 for index. Sorry, let's make a empty integer first. New string is empty. If, so let's make it a if loop, or for index in range. I'm thinking of Python too much. If index less than or equals to count, and count is more than or equals to 1. Less than or equals to count, and count is more than or equals to 1. Okay, that works. We wouldn't put equal sign, we would put an arrow pointing towards the variable. New string plus your apostrophes of your this char, and it will just keep looping. First we'll do index is equals to index plus 1, and if, and we would return the else. So we say else. So else if index is more than count. So let's just end if here. So let's say we get a count that is less than 1. If count less than 1, new string is equals to error. We could have just put else, new string is equals to error, but let's just do if counts, and we'll end if here, and then we would return new string, and then we will end function. That's it. Next question 5. The program will be tested by using a okay, so I actually have to go now because my mom has been invited to dinner and I have to follow, but I'll mark the paper first, and then tomorrow I'll continue marking the paper. I'll finish it tonight, but tomorrow I'll continue marking it, and I'm actually quite confident now it should be okay. So we'll start with for and function. So we have function make string, so that's 1 mark for declaring the function, and declare my string and index, so we declare new string and index. Okay, next thing we do, if count is less than 1, then my string is x equals to 1 to count, so So I technically didn't properly declare my index, so that's not good. But I did initialize new string, so that's 1 mark. And for index 1 to count, so for index, they use the for loop, I use if loop, so should be okay as well. My string is my string and HR, and we'll just continue adding to your index, but they just put next index, just fine. So my loop is around the same, but I used a for loop, if loop, so should be, yeah, it's around the same, it's correct. Then next thing, open the text file in write mode, so that's 1 mark. Check there is a value on the stack, so I did not write that. Write value to text file. Okay. Pop value. Oh, pop the value, then write it to the text file. Okay. Repeat from step 2. So So open the file in write mode. Check there is a value on the stack. Pop the value, write it to the text file, and repeat from step 2. Does it have to be like this? Why can't I use my method? Because I thought we just copy the values onto our text file. But guess not. So 6 is correct, our graph here is correct. Okay. If day index my date of birth, so that's wrong. But first reference to month and day. So we have reference to the month. Clear description for check the day number matches with the relevant month. Okay. Value for month is between 1 and 12. Okay. Check 2, value x1, and it's a process and an output. Oh my gosh, it can be more than one thing. Read my file is an input and result is a process. So I got that wrong. Right file is an output. Okay. 1C is integer. 1B is the second dimension index of the arrays declared from 1 to 5. But the loop runs from 0 to 4. Oh my gosh. To p count and 100. Let's go back to the paper first. I'm still quite confident though. Identify the other area, so it's 1 to 50. However, this is 0 to 49. So we have 10, 100, line number. So 10, 100. So we just need 10 and 100. Day index, my date of birth, is equals to 5. That's a number. 10, 100, 100, 102. I need 4 values. Okay, so now I end the stream now. I'll stream tomorrow afternoon since my test is on 7. So yeah. Good luck to everyone taking the computer science, and hopefully my bad luck streak will end tomorrow. And off action.